So you're looking for more games for your Sony PlayStation 2 collection.
You know me. I'm always in the market for more games.
So this is our second video for the PlayStation 2 games, and we essentially just want to show a couple more games that are pretty close to must-haves for your collection, and or if you're just looking for something new to add to your collection. We're going to go over what the games are and what the prices are.
Yeah, and I was kind of shocked last time because I was aware that PS2 was cheap, but I didn't know that PS2, like a lot of the excellent titles are so cheap. So I'm hoping for the best here, right? So we're going to start again with another staple for the console, Jak and Daxter, the very first Jak and Daxter. Now, this is the first part of a trilogy on the PS2, and the Jak and Daxter trilogy kind of harkens back to like collectathons from back in the day, like collecting, but you're collecting power cells, but it has a more in-depth story. You play as a character named Jak with his sidekick Daxter, and you're going around collecting power cells early on for various like tasks and people around town. It does have an excellent story. I won't ruin it here, but it is an awesome game that has great story. And what does it cost?
$10. At $10, you should be able to get most of the Jak games, maybe up to $15, but specifically for the first one, you shouldn't expect to spend more than $10.
And you get 2 sequels.
Yeah. The next game we're going to talk about is Gran Turismo 3. So this was an early title on the PS2, and it is a racing sim. So if you're into racing games, we highly recommend it. It is good. It was, like I said, an early title that had good graphics coming into the PS2.
It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Because it was going from the PS1 to the PS2 era. So it was, I couldn't believe, I remember seeing a trailer for that game, and I was like, those are real cars. There's no way. Like, seriously.
Graphics can't get any better.
There's no way, man.
And another selling feature of this game is 2 players. So if you're looking for something for two of you, also could work for that. And the biggest selling point of this game is you can get it for $5. This is a really cheap game. They made lots of them. They're really easy to find at a thrift store or just buy it online.
Well, that's reason enough to buy it, even if you don't love it, right? So, but you will. It's fun. Moving on from there, we have Dark Cloud, the very first Dark Cloud. And again, this was a game that it was an early title on the PS2, and it was it's an RPG, but it's different. Like, it's instead of upgrading your character, you're upgrading your weapons, and it has a unique system, a really unique weapon system, and like a town building system. And I remember borrowing this from a friend, and you know what? He may not have gotten it back. This actually might be his. I can't remember, but it sold really, really well, and I loved it. And out of all the games, I might have to find out if that was his copy.
And out of all the games we're showing you, this one actually resales the best as well. It sells the fastest. So if you're ever looking and you've got a collection and you're looking to get rid of it, this game, if you try to sell all your games, will sell probably faster than most of your games. And not that it sells for that much. It's only worth $15, but it will get off the shelf really quick because of how good of a game it is.
Still, like, that's really, really solid value for all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So far.
And that brings us to another RPG by Square, and that is going to be Kingdom Hearts. And also, great RPG. I mean, it's mixing the Final Fantasy elements with Disney characters, and as childish as that sounds, it's really not. It's a highly recommended game. There's a reason why it's been remastered and been re-released. Highly recommend getting it. And the price alone at $10.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, and
does it make a difference? Like, because some of these we have like the greatest hits versions. Does that make some difference with the black label?
It makes a little bit of a difference, but I mean, for the sake of if you're trying to get into the game, just go for whichever one's the cheapest to get. The game is no different. If you just want to play it. Exactly.
Like, yeah, there you go. So the last one is a game that we don't actually have. I don't have it as part of my collection yet. The first God of War. So Kratos' first kind of entry into his battles with he's had throughout the games, right? So, like, if you've played the later ones, which wouldn't surprise me if somebody's played ththese later ones, it would be really nice to go back and be able to see his earliest adventures. And, like, it's what you'd expect. It's gory. It's hard. It hits hard. Like, it's a lot of fun. You'll love it if you enjoyed some of the later ones. It is different than, like, the most recent iterations with old Kratos, but it is still very good. And pricing?
$10.
I was sure that one was going to be the most expensive.
No. And that, you can get a very common theme. PlayStation 2 games, unless you're going for those really niche titles, you're going to be able to get them for a good price.
It's not bad.
And that concludes our list for today. We do have another list that's going to be coming out at some point, and we usually call it our budget list, but the thing is, most games on the PS2 are budgetless. So it's going to be our thunder round of going over other games we didn't have time to get into and giving you the prices. And that will be popping up at some point in time, maybe on his face, but it might not be out yet.
I just accept it now. I should just walk away after, like, we talk about the games, because like that way it can't cover my face. So,
like and subscribe.